As we come before God in biblically worship, one of the most important ideas that we have in this is that we need to work with God in creating events that will lead us into those moments of becoming more like Jesus. You might have heard before the distinction between Kairos time and Chronos time. Kairos time is the time that are those God-ordained moments. Something major happens, you have a breakthrough, you have an experience with God, yet the first child is born. There are these big moments that God has ordained in our life. Chronos moments, on the other hand, are just like, it's 7 o'clock and I'm going to eat dinner. Just regular time. So the idea of the Kairos moments is important as we talk about creating events, because we don't want to wait years in between for something to happen in order that we're spurned on and we get hungry for God and for His kingdom. So what this means is at times we'll have these events happen, and then there's, you get married, and then there's a few years later, you have your first child, and then a few years later, someone might die, and there's this great gap of time in between. But if we're very deliberate about how we approach God and with our worship biblically as surrender, we can actually create these events much more often. And through these events, these Kairos moments, God is showing us how we can be more like Jesus, and we become more like Jesus. He makes it possible through the power of His Spirit, and the Father's glorified on the earth. So what we're going to look like here is what it looks like as we create these events through deliberate biblical worship.